Attorneys are talking outside of the courtroom, so we're going to listen in.
To cross. And quite frankly, not just as a lawyer, but as a citizen, we're very concerned about that. So that in the future, if some prosecutor in a different political jurisdiction, in a red state or in a red county, decides to take aim at a federal official or people close to them, and then the rest of the country complains, well, this case is setting that precedent. So we have looked at this so carefully. These cases are always resolved in the civil context. The IRS has never made a case like this. We cannot find where the IRS has ever made a case like this. And we're all aware, all of you and all of us are aware of the very significant financial crimes that have occurred by large financial institutions where this office did not take them on, did not prosecute them. Going back to 2008, the financial collapse of the United States, many of the firms that were involved in those events are located in Manhattan. We did not see this office go after those firms and drag them into court, those companies into court, and we're talking about $1 trillion in lost value to homeowners across the United States. So those are my thoughts, and I think that it is an improper precedent. I think the office knows this. I'm not saying anything to you all that they are not aware of, but I believe the political forces driving today's events are just that. It's politically driven, notwithstanding the statements by my colleague at the DA's office in court today.
$1.7 million. I know he's not your client, but that's a lot of money. What would Mr. Trump have to say about that?
The allegations in the indictment are just that. They are allegations. They have to be proven. This is these kinds of cases typically are resolved in the civil context. Why? Because the law on compensation, on fringe benefits is murky, it's difficult, it's complex. You can have experts disagree. So these charges are going to be vigorously contested, and they're going to be vigorously contested by people who are experts in the field and know this law very, very well.
How concerned is Mr. Trump about his personal fate as a result of this? As they say, this could just be the beginning of a more lengthy and more thorough prosecution. The
district attorney can say and announce whatever they would like to say and announce. We have no concerns going forward. That's all I can say on that matter.
So that $1.7 million was over 15 years, I thought I heard them say?
The indictment alleges that amount of money was from 2005 into 2016 or 17. But again, the question is, what is it about? It's about apartments. Is something a corporate apartment? Is something properly an expense of the company? And these are complex questions, never charged in a criminal case, and they shouldn't have been here, quite frankly. All civil cases, I've been a lawyer a long time. My wonderful colleagues, Bettina Shine, Susan Necklace, been lawyers a long time. All civil cases, people get into a room, they talk about it. Often they resolve things. What can I say? Your own human experience tells you the answer to those questions. We're way before any kind of. All I can tell you is all of our common experience would tell you that civil cases, people usually get in a room, they figure out what the issues are, and they resolve them. That's what happens.
How is the Trump organization affected by this? This could be very damaging to the organization itself.
We are the company is very, very optimistic that and we're certainly hopeful that there will not be significant effects. I do remind you all that there are large financial institutions in New York City, very well-known financial institutions that were the subject of criminal prosecutions and that are regulated entities. We're talking banks, we're talking large financial institutions, and they've all survived very, very well. What I would tell you all, and something that isn't reported, is that what is the company? The company is about 3,500 employees worldwide. Many of those are in the United States at these properties and hotels and golf clubs, and I visited some of those. And the people that are employed are waiters, and they're bellmen, and they're busboys, and they clean the rooms, and they fix the meals, and they are maintenance people, and they take care of the grounds. And they are people from all walks of life, of every country on the planet, and they are good, hardworking people. And so those are the people that really are behind this company. And you all should know that.
Based on what's in the indictment, do you think the real target here is former President Trump?
I would answer that by saying that certainly, given the nature and the unprecedented nature of these charges, that certainly that's the reason they were brought. Okay, if the name of the company was something else, I don't think these charges would have been brought. In fact, I am fairly certain they would not have been brought if the name was a different name.
Are any other charges being discussed?
No. The answer is no, and I'm going to speak to what we are talking about today. I'm finished. I appreciate you all, but that's what I have to talk about this afternoon. Thank you. Allen Futerfas. Futerfas. Thank you.
I just have a few comments.
And we have been listening to a Trump Organization attorney speaking afterwards. There may be another attorney speaking. Let's listen for one moment.
Americans should be concerned about what they see in this case today. This case is truly unprecedented. The Attorney General's office and the District Attorney's office brought a joint prosecution here because they dislike Donald Trump politically. They subpoenaed millions of documents from him personally and pressured witnesses so that those witnesses, trying to make those witnesses tell them things that Donald Trump, that they wanted to hear, that Donald Trump had done things criminally, which they did not, the witnesses did not do because they could not do. Although Kerry Dunn in court said this was not a political prosecution, I think you can all see what has happened in the press, what you've seen over the last year, and the comments that Attorney General Letitia James has repeatedly made. She campaigned on a promise that she would get Donald Trump. She repeatedly said she would use all areas of the law to get Donald Trump, and this is a joint prosecution. While she was Attorney General and while President Trump was in office, she sued him 70 times using New York taxpayer money. She called him an illegitimate president repeatedly. So this is the person who now with the DA's office have teamed up together to bring this unprecedented prosecution. The DA's office may say it's not unprecedented, but they cannot point to any case where a corporation has been prosecuted based on a few individuals in the corporation who allegedly on their personal tax return made a mistake or did not pick up fringe benefits on their personal tax return. There is no such case that we have been able to find, and we do not believe that there is any such case that they have been able to find. You cannot say, like the DA's office said in court, oh, we brought the case because they didn't cooperate with us. That's not how it works. You bring the case on principles of corporation, of liability, and when a corporation has done massive wrongdoing. That's what the DA's office's guidelines for corporate liability said, and they disregarded those guidelines to bring a case against the Trump company. Never happened before. We will win this case, but this case should have never been brought. It is a political prosecution. Political prosecutions where people are targeted, criminally because the prosecutors disagree with their political beliefs happen in corrupt countries. It does not happen in America. It's un-American. It should not happen here in New York City, the greatest city in the greatest democracy in the world. Should not have occurred. And it is a sad day in New York that this occurred. Thank you. I'm not answering any questions here. Thank you very much.